Someone's tuned in. Hello. Oh, Miguel, the GT winner. Hello. Asla, good morning. I'm exhausted again. Absolutely exhausted. GT winner. Mike says, you knew I'd show up for this day. I knew it, Mike. Yeah. Hello, Mike. It's a long time in coming, huh? Friggin' GT winner, Blood Angels commander. How do you like them apples? Thanks. Thanks, Mike. This is gonna be I'm actually gonna sit here and eat ice cream. I've had a long day. I've had two of the most brutal games of 40 years. Small ice cream. Eh. Even winners can't eat big ice creams. Good evening, Trivial Pursuit. How are you? Lots of unlucky moments, but we all knew you were the real deal. Glad you've got the validation you've been wanting. Yeah, Michael, I actually have been wanting the validation of a GT win. Some of you guys been painting while you watched the GT. Cool. How was the... I mean... How were the games even watchable? I wasn't really sure. Like, it was kind of a last-minute decision to try and stream it. Because honestly, I thought I was going to take some videos. And then I thought to myself, like... Because I charged my video camera to take it to the GT. But I've taken my video camera to GT before. Like, one I wasn't even organising. Ended up being so busy at the tournament. Because you are busy, and... Like, this tournament, I made a lot of decisions to keep myself, like, well hydrated and eat really healthy and all this kind of crap all the way through the tournament. So when I was doing all that, I figured, like, I don't know if I actually have time to film anything. So that's why I just decided, like, what if I just throw a computer on and just stream it, right? That'll work. So I guess that's what I did. But I wasn't really sure how viewable or how... I'm gonna... Do you know, the cool thing about it was I played the last two games on the top table. So I can maybe even go back to those games, skim through the footage, and see what's good, right? Eternal Crusader, are you trolling? I won the GT, dude. I friggin' won it. I beat Gav, which was like the most stressful game of my life. That was to go 3-0. And then I beat Chaos Knights, which my list is not designed to deal with Chaos Knights. Like, I got so many chainswords on my list, I was like, I don't know how I beat these Chaos Knights. And then I had to play Garen in the final, who I've played before multiple times. Again, I'd never beaten Gav before this event. I've never beaten Garen before this event. played him multiple times, multiple top tables before, lost at the top table multiple times against both of them. So, it's going to take a little while to I don't even think it's sunk in that I want it yet, honestly. It sunk in when I beat Gav yesterday, because that was huge. Because I've played Gav so many times, like maybe like 20 games. I knew it was going to take a little bit of luck, probably, to beat Gav. And I think there was a degree of luck at the end of the game. I think he pulled a secondary that he couldn't score. So that stopped him scoring points. I pulled a secondary that I can score for 6. So there was a bit of luck there at the end. And then I had to pass the Battle Shock to get the 6 points. On a Battle Shock on a 6-up on 2 dice, which was luck as well. Is the trophy going to live on screen from now on? What do you guys think? It could. It could, right? It changes colour as well, right? It's pretty dope. But what's also cool is I want a set of dice for first. And I'm gonna have to use these dice on stream actually. These dice have like a little first place winners. They're Baron of Dice. Where's the lid of it? Baron of Dice? The Baron of Dice. I don't know if you guys seen this. Baron of Dice. These are exclusive GT first place winner dice. So I'm going to have to use these on stream when I play Andrew and that now. I'm just going to have to literally troll them. Be like, oh, you don't have first place dice? No, you can't use my first place dice. Come on, guys. So the trophy might live... I might try and find a better spot for it, to be honest, in the video. And it might go up. Sit there and pull that box out a tiny bit. It struggles to focus on stuff way back there, the camera, because it's focused on me as well. We'll leave it here. First place. Yeah, see, if you try and mess around with the camera too much, it struggles to focus. I was having problems with this camera actually the other day. I don't know why it's not focusing. Too many things for it to try and focus on. GT winner 2024, yeah. It's done. The stress of winning a GT, guys. I don't... The weight off the shoulders is significant. Thanks, Highland Phoenix. I did see your super chat earlier. The laptop, I guess, because normally we stream on a computer, the laptop that was streaming the event was like overheating and shutting down, and the stream sort of cut out at one point, and I couldn't get it back right after your super chat came in. So thank you for the super chat earlier. Behind you next to the YouTube sign. Yeah, I'll put it up next to the YouTube sign. I just think it won't focus on any of the text when it's up there. So for now, it's gonna this stream it's gonna live here. What army did you beat in the last game? It was orcs, and it was lots of mega knobs and lots of knobs. It was that Bully Boys detachment that fight on death. Like every single time I fought him, he fought on death. Basically, it was It was a very, very bloody game. I think going second won me that game. I think if I went first, he wins the game. Which is kind of funny because I've played Garen on the top table at an event before where I went first and I lost the game literally because I went first. So I think this time round I win the game because I go second. Because it was one of the new missions. The new mission gave a lot of points for whoever controlled objectives at the end of the game. And I was basically able to do that. I'm going to break it all down. I'm going to make some videos. But yeah, I was honestly at a point where I thought like I might never win an event because it's hard, man. It's hard to win an event. I guess like it took me 7 years because I've been back in the hobby playing events now. Might not have been playing events for 7 years. Maybe I'm playing for 6 years. I've been back. I'm going to tick it off the list. The next GT I go to, Eternal Crusader, my goal will be to have fun and get best sportsman. Because this GT, I've never been so exhausted from 5 games of Warhammer in my life. I can't imagine those events where if at this point you then went and played 3 more games, I would just be like, no, I'm done. I can't do it. I'm too old. I don't know how anybody does that, honestly. Because even in game 5, mistakes are starting to creep into my game. My opponent was absolute brilliant guy. I've played him before. So a couple of mistakes that happened in turn 5. He made a couple of mistakes as well. We were both able to talk them over and resolve it. But yeah, brutal. Jaegerbom's looking to the Blood Angels refresh. Blood Angels are in such a good position right now, Jaegerbomb. I run a list that was so not meta, right? Like, my list is... I hope one of the big sites like Goonhammer or Auspex Tactics or somebody covers my list. Because my list is so... My list is just... Like, I ain't running any of the meta shit. No Ball Predators, no Assault Intercessors, no Foot Death Company, no... what's the other thing that's really meta at the moment? My brain is failing me. But yeah, I'm not running any of the meta stuff. And I'm so pleased I won the event doing that, because then it shows that, like... It shows that if you take a list and you practice, this is what I wanted to stress on the channel, because people used to always tell me, right? People always used to say, are you even Blood Angels if you're running tanks? Are you even Blood Angels if you're running Dreadnoughts, right? We've all heard that. This is what I wanted to prove. I wanted to win a GT with a list that was like, it's not batshit crazy, right? It's still Blood Angel stuff, but it's like, it's Dante and 10 Sangry Guards. Show me another person anywhere in the world right now that's won a GT with Dante and 10 Sangry Guard. I'll tell you, nobody's doing it. No one that's playing meta Blood Angels is running that, right? No one that's playing meta Blood Angels is running 2 Squads Outriders or 2 Predator Destructors. I'll tell you that right now as well. You know, like, it's like I just took what I wanted to take because they're the units that I enjoy, and I like figuring out lists for myself. I figured out something good and I practiced the shit out of it. I must have had like 15 games with that list, and maybe it wasn't the best list in the world, but I guess it just shows that if you take what you want and you practice it, you can do, you know, the sky's the fucking limit. There we go. Like tonight's stream if you've got 2 seconds, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, someone sent my list to Auspex Tactics. I don't know how you submit a list, but he always likes to... Actually, can I just send him my list? Has he got like an email address on his website, or does anyone have Auspex Tactics email address? I'd appreciate it if anyone has it. Brad, thanks so much. He does have a contact email address. Okay, cool. I'm gonna email Auspex Tactics. I'll do it right now while you guys are on stream. What will we say? Dear Mr. Auspex Tactics, hold on. Blood Angels Commander GT Victory. Dear Mr. Auspex. Does anyone actually know his real name, or does anyone just call him Auspex Tactics? Right? Yeah, that last game was super close, dude. I think it was literally down to I had to pass... I think I had Dante on 2 wounds, and I had to pass 5 in Van saves. I think if he fails one or two of them, because some of them was 1 damage, some of them was 2 damage, so if he failed any of the invuln saves against 2 damage weapons, he would have won the game. But here's the thing, I kind of knew, based on my performance, right, because I don't know if you guys remember, I was at the last GT that I was at, I literally got missed out on the top spot when I needed to roll, like, I would have been like top 3 at the last GT. I needed to roll a 2+ with Librarian Dreadnought, and I rolled a 1 for the teleport, right? So I think when you get to those super high-level competitive tables, where everybody is really good player, there is a little bit of dice can come into it, right? Because if both players are playing at the absolute top of their game, both players really know their lists, which game 3, 4, and 5 were like, right? Because game 3 was against Gav with his Votann, and his Votann are horrific. They give those Votann Terminators literally give me nightmares. They do so much damage. And then it was against Chaos Knights, and like I said, my list does not have a lot of stuff to deal with toughness 10 stuff. Like I have a lot of strength 6 chainswords on my list. Like I have a shitload of chainswords, but chainswords don't do all that much into knights. And then the orcs just trade so bloody well. Yeah. Make sure you mention it wasn't based, even though it was your own GT. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have seen Gav on stream. I've never beaten Gav on stream. You guys have seen Garen on stream. I've never beaten Garen on stream. So the fact that I beat both of them today, and that, in fact, that's the first time I've even beat either of them, even though they've been on my stream multiple times, playing games against me, beating me on stream, I think that proves that, like, yes, it wasn't biased, or it wasn't, you know, like, because 9 times out of 10 when I play Garen or I play Gav, I lose against them. But again, neither of them, I just think Blood Angels are a really good spot. Hey Mike, how you doing? I really want to watch the Knights game as it was a masterclass. It wasn't as much a masterclass as in I dodged his carnivores, man. He had 3 carnivores in one quadrant of the table that didn't do a lot of stuff.
I have awoken.
Mike, thank you so much for being a member for 25 months. I do really appreciate that. So, I think he made a little bit of a misplay with those knights. He was doing behind enemy lines. He was doing that new containment mission, which are a lot of points, right? Behind enemy lines scored him 4, containment scored him 10, and he was ahead at that point. So it did make sense for him to keep getting further ahead. But actually, the knight player, he burned an objective as well early game, which he probably shouldn't have burned, because it prevented him scoring primary. Because once he started burning that one, I just focused everything on the other 2. Thinking to myself that was, I'll break down the games probably. I'll probably make videos on my list and the games for the next couple of weeks, right? I think there's a good amount to learn in there, and I also think it's good to I think it's really good that I won it without any meta stuff, or without running, like I didn't run Lamartez, I didn't run Foot Death Company, didn't run Assault Intercessors, didn't run Ball Predators, didn't run the Sanguinor, you know. I did it. Didn't pick any. Yeah, that was another meta unit I was trying to think of earlier in the stream. So I'd say the meta stuff for Blood Angels is like Assault Intercessors, Foot Death Company, Lamartez, the Sanguinor. Didn't run any of that. What have I missed? Yeah, I did have a captain in the Impulsor, but he wasn't with Assault Intercessors. Alex says, I have Outriders, but I've not been using them. I'm running... So I'm trying to think, like, out of the course of the 5 games with Outriders, Alex, they barely killed anything. But they quite often scored points, they quite often sat on objectives, they quite often made a nuisance of themselves, they quite often move blocked. And that's kind of why they're in the list. And they're survivable with their toughness 5 and OC2, right? Dr. Akushla, we look, First place. First place trophy right here. It's here. It's here. Can you not see it? Open your eyes. I'm going to drop this and break it, haven't I? Mike said a year ago that Outriders were good, apparently. Come on. Why were we not listening to Mike, guys? Yeah, don't break it, because I'm never going to win. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to try. Man, winning a GT is so fucking stressful. Hey, Phil. Phil is an absolute superstar. So we met Phil this weekend. He flew all the way from America to come to our GT. He did really well, actually. I think he finished 3-2, and he beat Andrew in a practice game the night before, so he did 4-2. So I'm really nice guy. So Phil, who's been a channel member for the longest time as well, I actually gave him a small bottle of whiskey. Thanks so much for coming, Phil. The kids are in bed. I'm just sitting here. I was going to talk to you guys for like half an hour, 45 minutes. Something's up with my camera. I don't know if there's something on the lens or something, but just the autofocus just keeps turning off. There must be something on the lens. Let me clean the lens. Because I was doing this the other night where the autofocus was just going off as well. I don't know what it's trying to focus on, but it's not working. Hopefully it's not broken, because that's like a £700 camera. You finished 10th overall. Well done, Phil. And Marius was at the event. Marius was playing as Ultramarines. He got a game in against Scav. So I met Marius as well. That was cool. What did you play after the Chaos Knights? I played Orcs, Bully Boys. I think he had maybe 12 mega knobs. A crap load of knobs. He must have had like 3 squads of 10 knobs, and then like 3 trucks, a battle wagon, a bunch of Storm Boys, and the Gretchen that sit on the home field and get points. Thanks, Kev. Good evening, Big Grim. How are you? I'm glad, Phil, that you had a good time. Yeah. I hope, let us know when you get home from all your flying and stuff. I hope that you have a good journey home. Because that's a serious amount of travelling for a GT. Respect, man. I don't know anyone that's ever travelled that much for a GT, so thanks for coming, Phil. And it's really nice to put a face to a name, actually, as well, because, like, obviously you guys see me, but I just see you guys' names in chat, so I think probably we'll run another GT, because it went so well. I think everybody had a good time. I think I've got small videos. Obviously, I've got the video for the event. I'll try and put some stuff together in the next couple of weeks. Kev says now you have a first. Have you won a GT, Kev? Have you? What is up with my bloody camera's autofocus? I'm gonna have to take the camera out and mess with autofocus after this. I don't know what's up with it. Lamarto says you'll make the next one, make the numbers up. Right, hold on. I don't know what's up with the autofocus. Something must be catching. Is it? Oh, maybe it's that. Oh, maybe it could be that. Hey, Brett, how did you get on day 2? What's this way? What you think? Oh, you think the camera's trying to catch autofocus on the trophy? It could be. I was trying to get it. I'll put the trophy behind me. I was trying to get it so that the trophy could be seen. Red. Yeah, because it's too far back there. But yeah, maybe the camera's all focusing on the trophy, and that's messing things up. Well, congrats, Brett. Thanks for being the ringer. Somebody had to. If you hadn't stood down and did the filming yesterday, Andrew Collin joked with me yesterday when you and I were both 2-0 that it would have been funny if we played on the top table. Dude, we could have played on the top table. You just needed to beat those bully boys, but I understand why you lost against them, because I think against the orcs, my predators and my ballistus dreadnought were probably my MVPs in that game, because the orcs had so little shooting. So like just every turn, obviously the predators are AP4 into infantry with las cannons and AP2 with autocannons. They were just picking up mega knobs all game, all turn, every turn. So the predators must have killed, I don't know, like each predator must have killed like 15-20 orcs. The ballistus dreadnought must have killed like 10-20 orcs. And then every single unit I fought against him, he fought on death. He paid CP to fight on death all the time with bully boys. So like I couldn't get a good trade. Like the Sangre Guard went in, they killed the remaining mega knobs, which was like 4 mega knobs and like 10 knobs. I killed 5. So the Sangre Guard killed 4 mega knobs and 5 knobs, but he fights on death and he kills like 7 Sangre Guard. It's pretty rough, right? So it's like you can't even trade into the bully boys. So yeah, my tanks the tanks won me the game against the bully boys. What was the win ratio? I won 5 games, I lost 0. I was the only person at the event that did that. And obviously, on the final table, I was playing the only other person that had won 4 games, lost 0. So, day 1, I faced Orcs, Eldar, and Votan. And the Votan was the toughest game by... Here's the thing, though, right? Like, the first game against Orcs, he had tons of boys. Sangre Guard, not that many Blood Angels players are playing Sangre Guard. Sangre Guard are crazy good against boys, right? Because boys only hit on 3s, so that makes them only hit on 4s. They're only like a chopper, so they're only going to wound on 4s. Well, they're going to wound a Sangre Guard on 5s, and then if I Armor of Contempt my Sangre Guard, I'm just going to save on 2s. So, like, it was the Green Tide Orcs, but I have the one unit that no Blood Angels player is running, which is the 10 Sangre Guard and Dante, right? Let's face it, not many people are running that. That unit is insanely good against Orc boys. So, like, I knew he had a Stompa. I was like, if I keep my Sangre Guard away from the Stompa, they can literally kill everything. And they did. And then the second game was against Eldar. I play Eldar so much, right? Because Andrew has Eldar on the stream all the time. So I know exactly what every unit does. And I deployed my scouts super aggressively. Because I was thinking to myself, maybe I can stop his jet bikes being a nightmare against me. And then I went first, so I actually ended up doing like a turn 1 charge with the combat knives. And it was actually a really good move and really hurt the Eldar player. So the first 2 games I had a really good jump, and then the third 3 games were like super very difficult. Phil was running Seth at this event, by the way, and he said that Seth killed 3 Carnifexes all by himself. So he's got a mad new respect for Seth. If you do come to the event next year, Phil, and you don't want to take tanks on a plane or something, if you ask me about tanks or armor units or anything that you don't have in advance, we could certainly see if there's a few people here that could lend you a Predator tank or whatever it is, Ball Predator or something. Like, I could have lent you some Ball Predators for the weekend, right? What's about the unit of Dante? is it better than Lamarta's unit? It's different, right? The Lamarta's unit is the more meta pick, for sure. 100%. Where was the event? North of Scotland. And I think that's the point. Most Blood Angels players would play the Lamarta's unit. And I'm probably going to mention that when I break some of the games down, like, because I was thinking about that, like, on my drive home from the event today. I was trying to think of a situation where Dante and 10 Sanguinary Guard are better than Lamarta's and 10 Death Company, because Lamarta's and 10 Death Company are cheaper, right? And they do more damage, arguably, because they have strength 10 on every attack. But Dante does have some interesting stuff, right? Battle Shock in an aura with -1 can be big. And then when there's only a couple of guys left, Dante can still do quite a... Like, Dante's lethal hits, right? So his axe is lethal hits. And it's AP3. Blood Angels don't really have any AP3 in melee whatsoever, right? So Dante in and of himself can be pretty good. And Dante won me that final game, actually. He had to make a bunch of invulnerable saves. He passed them all. Won me the game. And Dante and the Sanguinary Guard today, yesterday as well, probably, were my MVP unit. They swung so many. If you've watched any of my games on stream, you'll know that I'm always losing. I wish I wasn't always losing in turn 4 or turn 5, but apparently I am. I'm always like 20 points behind going into turn 4 or 5. Like, I can't fucking not be 20 points behind. Like, going into turn 5 against Gav, I was 20. He was winning 60-40 when we go into turn 5. So somehow I got 23 points in the final turn and I win the game. You know, like, I don't know how I do this to myself. But yeah, the rapid ingressing of the 10 Sanguinary Guard and Dante is actually... I don't want to say it's a legit play, but they're a glass cannon unit, right? They're an absolute glass cannon unit. But here's the thing, right? If you have Dante plus 10 Sanguinary Guard, right? You get like, you can do like 100 damage with that unit in melee combat. That's before you shoot the 11 Infernal Pistols you get. You've got Dante who will get on the charge, he's going to get 9 attacks at damage 2, so that's 18. So that's 18 maximum damage in combat. And then you get the Sanguinary Guard, which I run with 8 blades and 2 power fists. So you get 40 attacks from the Incarnate blades. 8 times 5, 40. So that's potentially 80 damage. And then you get 8 attacks from the power fists, so that's 2 damage. So you get 80 plus Dante's 18 plus the power fists 16. That's right. 18 plus 16 is 34 plus the 80. Am I doing that wrong? I don't think so. So yeah, that unit can do 100 damage. More than 100 damage. If you split it up well, and Dante already gives you +1 to hit, and Dante gives you +1 to charge, so that you're, So basically the play is, you rapid ingress, 12.1 inches away obscured. You jump forward 12 inches, all 11 Melta Pistols are in range. You shoot 11 Melta Pistols, usually does quite a bit of damage. They're all in Melta range, so they all get +2 damage. They're -4 EP, pretty good against Bully Boy Orcs, right? Then you make a charge. They're glass cannons, though. Like, that's the only way you can play them, I think. Deep striking like a proper Blood Angels. Yeah, that's Blood Angels from before. What upgrades do you hope Sanguinary Guard get with the refresh? Yeah, I've heard the rumor that they're going to come in squads of 3 now, potentially 6s. I think if they're making them smaller, they probably need like an extra wound and a little bit extra strength, because they're pretty weak if you don't make the charge. And they're also, do you know what? They're actually pretty weak at being. They're super weak at being shot. They can't be shot. They just die. The second you hit them, they're just regular Marines with 1 more on their armor save. They're really not good in melee. They're really not good at being shot. But yeah, no, I'm super chuffed that I won an event with 10 Sangre Guard and Dante, because no one's running that. Oh. So there's no army list show tonight, obviously. I'm probably going to go and vegetate in front of the television for half an hour and then go to bed. I hear England won the football. Congrats, England. I'll watch the highlights. It would be nice if they were a bit like Blade Guard with jump packs. Yeah, do you know what? I could get quite on board with them with being a bit like Blade Guard, but yeah, I would like them to, even if they're like Blade Guard, I really wish they would have one more strength or something.
I have awoken.
Pour yourself some scotch, says James. 3 years of membership, James. Thank you so much for that. You saw I won the GT, right, James? I did it. I did it, man. I'm done. I can go to every GT now without the burden of pressure of I need to prove myself and win a damn tournament. Because that's what I've been trying to do for the longest time, I guess. It's gonna feel it's gonna feel liberating just going to another tournament knowing that I can just have fun. And yeah, I'm so happy about that. Was there any contentious decisions? What with the games I played? I usually say to my opponent right at the start, Mike, that I'm quite happy to play by intent and stuff like that. So, no, I don't think I had any problems in the 5 games that I played. I mean, there's always a couple of like little rules things where like you might tell that guy, oh, you know, like I don't think you can make that move because reasons, or I don't think you can do that. But someone called me out on it at one point. Like, I moved my jump infantry over a piece of terrain, and they said to me, how far do those jump infantry move? And I said 12 inches, and he said, well, I think you've moved it more than 12 inches. And I was like, if I have, I didn't mean to. So I just, like, pushed him back, like, a couple inches. I wasn't trying to make a long-distance charge or anything. I just maybe didn't measure it as well as I possibly could, I suppose. So, no, I didn't have any problems in any of my games. I even forgot to bring in one of my units from Deep Strike in turn 3 one time and said to my opponent, like, I forgot that unit. And they were like, well, if you just place them in the backfield, that's fine. And I was like, thank you. It was just 5 jump intercessors, but I suppose it probably could have been meaningful if they'd been left off the board to just die. Shit happens. I can't play 5 games in a row without mistakes start creeping in. Day 2 is when mistakes start creeping in, because you're tired. You've played a lot of games. They all sort of merge together, right? So yeah, the people that go to events where they play 5 games and at this point then go play another 3, like best of 3, they're superstars. I don't know how you do that. I don't think I could do that. I think I'd be destroyed in the first game I would play, unless they're all equally as tired. But no, I think I'm too tired for drinking tonight, James. But I do appreciate it. Plus, I've got work in the morning, so possibly not the best idea. So, dear Mr. Auspex Tactics, my name is John, the Blood Angels commander. I won a GT yesterday. Oh, well, today, with a very non-meta Blood Angels list. Here's a link to the event. Here's the list. Enjoy. Do you miss having a lone operative unit? Not really. Because I think like lone operatives sometimes can be vulnerable to mistakes. You know, like you put your lone operative down in a bad position, they come in, they kill it, they deep strike it, whatever. Whereas like I just have my scoring units are essentially, I essentially have 5 scoring units on my list, which are 2 units of jump assault intercessors, 2 units outriders, and a unit of scouts. And because I've got 5 of them, and because 2 of the units, the outriders, are kind of tanky and fast moving. I mean, arguably jump assault intercessors are fast moving too. I feel like that actually in my list is good for me because it means I've got enough to make mistakes. And I guess I'm not the perfect player, so occasionally a mistake will crop in. So if I make a mistake, it's fine because I make a mistake. Having enough units like that lets me essentially make a mistake and recover from it, right? Now you've won an event, will you change the list? Ah, that's a good question. I hadn't even thought about that. I was actually thinking I was just going to go live on Wednesday night and not play. Like, I'm not going to play a game of 40k on Wednesday night. I'm just going to go live and chat to you guys. I don't know what I'm going to do because I've been trying. Maybe I'll finally put. Ryan's been asking me to run Gabriel Seth for the longest time. Maybe I should. Maybe on Wednesday night I could just chill out, just paint a little bit, put 3 colors on Gabriel Seth. Dwarf says congrats on winning the tournament. Thank you, dude. I really do appreciate that. Maybe what I could do is put 3 colors on the Gabriel Seth model that I've been working on. Like I was converting one, right? So maybe I could put 3 colors on them and run him on the stream as a bit of fun. I feel like I'm going to feel a little bit sad to not run that list because, yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. I mean, I've never won an event before, right? Thank you, Sanguiner. Congrats. Sanguiner says yes, run Seth. So, guys, 6 Blade Guard with a Captain and Impulsor is now meta. I think you probably still want the Judiciar if you're putting them. I just think the Judiciar with the Blade Guard is so freaking good, man. Cambo, good evening. I'm going to be making plenty content videos about this list, about the event, about what I can. But yeah, I hadn't even thought about what I was going to do next. Normally what happens is at this point, when I end up failing at the event, because that's what I always do, I would come home and psychoanalyze my list and change everything about it because I'm unhappy that it's failed me. Ryan says it would be fun, but you definitely still... Yeah, I mean, the list will still be in the back pocket. It's a list I made up. That's the thing I'm probably most proud of, right? Is it's like a list that I made up from scratch that no one else is running. Since you won, are you going to Disneyland? I mean, I'm saving to take my kids to Disneyland. It's got... Disneyland's fucking expensive these days. DWKJR. My aim is to try and take the kids next summer. So, maybe we'll get... But it's just Paris, right? Even Disneyland in Paris is expensive these days. I mean, maybe I could get a game of boarding actions. I quite enjoy that. Maybe I could even run some... I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing for future lists. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for that. I guess it's just the fact that... Do you miss any unit that can hold in a point? Like Vanguard Veterans with a Priest? I got plenty of units that will hold in a point, man. My tanks can hold in the points. The Impulsors held in some points. The Outrider... I'm trying to... Probably most of the time, so my backfield objective was literally always held by infiltrators, right? They were just there every game, not moving, holding the backfield objective. They were pretty safe, they're pretty secure. That's why infiltrators are probably better than heavy intercessors, because when you're as much as I like heavy intercessors, when you're playing in tournament play, people are always wanting to deep strike against you. The infiltrators just remove that option. So my backfield is just held the whole game, every game. I can't think of a single... in the game against Knights, I lost my backfield objective maybe in like turn 4 or 5 to a Carnivore, killed all the infiltrators, but then I just killed the Carnivore with some Sangre Guards. It was fine. But for 4 out of 5 games, infiltrators just hold the backfield, and then the side field objectives were typically held by scouts or outriders or my impulsor. Obviously the Death Company are moving around the battlefield killing stuff, the Sangre Guard are moving around the battlefield killing stuff, the tanks are moving around. So do you think you should assault intercessors with the captain instead of the company heroes, so you get reroll wounds for the captain's dev wounds? I mean, that would be nice, dude, but do you know what? We could probably put the company heroes in as a unit that holds objectives. The company heroes, I think they're amazing. They get so many they get so many attacks for the 4 guys, and then their shooting is kind of good. Their OC is good. Their survivability is the best for the cheapest, I guess. I want to say that, like, for example, a Carnivore... I think it was a Carnivore with, like, a Slaughter Claw came into the company heroes. Now, normally a Slaughter Claw kills, like, multiple Marines, right? Like, every turn they attack, they kill multiple Marines. I want to say the Slaughter Claw left 1 Marine with 1 wound or something. It's like I lost nothing. So it's like he charges me with all this nasty stuff. I lost nothing. I also put the company heroes into a squad of Meganobs. I think they killed 3 Meganobs. He actually spiked his save really high. And then on the fight back from all these Meganobs, I lose like 2 company heroes. The -1 to wound and the free armor of contempt or the free lethal hits all the time is just really, really strong. I really like the company heroes, actually. I'm really glad I changed them from assault intercessors. Maybe the more meta pick is assault intercessors plus the captain, but I really like the company heroes. They really work with what I'm trying to do. And the dev wound captain is really nice. John, thanks so much. What's the points cost? I think they are 95, so I think they're 20 more than the assault intercessors, right? But if you break it down, assault intercessors have 10 wounds, the company heroes have 16 wounds, They also have 4 wounds per model, which makes it, you know, like if you get hit with a 3 damage weapon, you're not getting a dead guy. They're permanently -1 to wound. They get something else. Oh, they're OC2 as long as the banner bearer's alive. So even when you've only got 2 of them left in the captain, you've still got 6 OC. Let me look at the data sheet on them. There's something else. They get a surprising amount of attacks, right? Because you've got 3 guys with no melee weapons, or they basically got close combat weapons, but they still get 5 attacks base. So you get 18 attacks from the 3 guys. Then you get 7 attacks with the Mastercrafted Power Sword. Like I said, they're OC2. You've got a sustained 2 Mastercrafted Heavy Bolter with 3 damage. So there's times where I've rolled a couple of 6s there, and all of a sudden you're getting like 9 3 damage Heavy Bolter shots out of them. You also got a Mastercrafted Bolt Rifle, which hits on 2s, 3 shots at rapid fire range, and has dev wounds, and has 2 damage. So potentially 6 dev wounds out of that guy as well. And then, yeah, while a character is leading this unit, each time attack against the unit, -1 to wound. So just -1 to wound all the time. So when you're fighting crap like knights that will wound you all the time on 2s, but all of a sudden it's 3s, sometimes that can be big. When you're fighting orcs or something that are wounding you on 4s, all of a sudden it's 5s, it can be big. They're 20 points more than the Assault Intercessors, but in my list, they just work so much better than the Assault Intercessors. Ryan says the company heroes seem to do very well how you play them. I think what really makes the difference is how they're used compared to just throwing small blocks of Assault Intercessors. Yeah, so I'm very rarely using them like you would use a captain and a squad of Assault Intercessors. Like a captain and a squad of Assault Intercessors, you're just throwing out against enemy units to do lots of damage, right? I'm kind of expecting the enemy will kill my Impulsor. Once they've killed my Impulsor, the company heroes will come out and I'll have 10 OC on that objective, and they'll be super difficult to shift. They'll still do good bit of damage in shooting. They can still do a very good amount of damage in melee. And sometimes I do go aggressive with them. In the final turn there, here's the play that was actually really probably good with company heroes, is I threw the company heroes forward to tie up a unit of his Meganobs in his deployment zone. So I was never expecting to kill all his Meganobs with 4 company heroes and a captain, right? And I don't suppose you would expect to kill all the Meganobs with 5 Assault Intercessors and a captain. The difference is I expect the company heroes to survive that, which means his Meganobs then have to choose whether they're going to sit in his deployment zone and spend a whole other turn of combat with my company heroes, or he's going to fall back, which means he can't do his WAG charge shit. Because I don't think, like, I think my company heroes kill 3 Meganobs. So imagine I think he's got a squad of 5 Meganobs plus a War Boss or something like that. So I think the War Boss and the 2 Meganobs alone only killed back 2 company heroes, right? And that's all they killed, like 2 4-wound company heroes. But I'm totally fine with that because it means I've got my captain and 2 company heroes in his DZ in combat with the Meganobs. His Meganobs are now stuck in his DZ, tied up with my cheap company hero unit, and I can score points elsewhere. And that's how you can play the company heroes, and that's why they can be good. Yes, they'll do less damage, but they will survive much, much better than a squad of Assault Intercessors. No one ever destroys my Impulsors. I lost my Impulsor in so many games this weekend. I lost it in turn 1 against the Votan. Lost it in like turn 3 against the Orcs. Lost it in like turn 2 against the Chaos Knights. I guess I only run 1, which maybe makes it a bullet magnet. Maybe you can run more than 1. When he didn't call the wagon turn 2 and you went in, that was big. Yeah, well, that was my thought, right? Was like he didn't call the wagon turn 2 because I was super defensive, right? I was so far away from him. I knew that the wag was coming. I actually expected him to just still call the wag in turn 2. But I played so defensively. Thoughts on an Ironstorm list? 3 tech. I'm not qualified to do Ironstorm, man. I've never run a Ironstorm list in my life. 3 Ball Predators, 2 Destructors, a Redemptor, 2 Storm Ravens, and 2 Vindicators. I mean, the Destructors are good, the Ball Predators are good, the Redemptor instead of Storm Ravens pretty good, and Vindicators are pretty good tanks. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about Ironstorm to comment, I guess. The one concern I have with a list like of that is like, what's your scoring units? Because you need like 5 scoring units. You need like cheap scoring units as well, right? Company heroes in a repulsor. I mean, you could. They work pretty well in an impulsor as well, honestly. The new impulsors, the repulsor's capacity could make it more interesting, yeah. I think the repulsor's probably pretty good at 180 points. Yeah, it feels weird. Normally I'm here tearing things from my list apart, right? What was the third game? It was against Gav's Votan, Highland Phoenix. And Gav had like 5 Sagators, 2 squad of 10-man Votan Terminators, whatever they're called. A bunch of the mole teams, whatever they're called, with the fight on death, 3 damage hammers. And then a plethora of other Votan. And I won that game, but I had basically fuck all left at the end of it. Gav was killing me really effectively. I drew some really good secondaries at the end of the game, which actually probably kind of won the game. And I did take a lot of photos of that game, so I should be able to... Hearthguard, that's the one, Phil. Did you play against the Votan, Phil? They were horrific, man. Their Terminators get so many shots. He was using some stratagem to get sustained hits on them. Just absolutely disgusting. But yeah, I sent Gav a message saying that after I beat him, I sent him a message saying, you are one of the greatest 40k players I've ever played in my life. Sorry, the wife's texting me. The wife's like, are you okay? You seemed upset when you got home. I was like, I was probably exhausted again. I never want to play. I never want to play Gav's Votan again. I never want to play Gav again. He's such a hard person to play against. I'm convinced. Like next time I play Gav, he is 100% winning because I needed before we go into the event. I honestly thought to myself, I need a little bit of luck probably to win my first GT. And the luck finally came. I actually kind of was worried about playing Colin, Highland Phoenix, because the thing is, I usually feel like I beat Colin. Like, I usually feel like I do okay against him, but I did think that if I play him at a tournament, it would probably be the one time he beats me. So I was actually happy to dodge Colin, because... No, the thing is, I'll play Death Guard, like... You know, me and Colin, like Colin said to me on the Saturday or whatnot, he's like, we've not played in a while. So I'll play Colin on stream like next week. And he'll probably beat me because I've not played him in a while, right? Yeah, I honestly think when I got home, it hadn't really sunk in. Because it's been a goal that I've been trying to achieve for the longest time, right? I was trying to, like, visualize it. Like, visualize your goals, right? Like, that's a thing I've been trying to do. So I was trying to visualize, rather than going into, like, day 2 going, I'm gonna win the first game in day 2, and then I'm gonna lose at the top table again, because that's always what happens, right? That's what happens to me. That's happened to me more times than I can remember now, right? Like, I get to the final table and I completely capitulate. I forget my rules, I forget this, I forget that, I cock things up. And it's probably only because I played Garen, who I've played a few times recently, played him on stream, and he's a good friend, that for once in the final game, I knew his list was strong, I knew he was a really good player, but for once in the final game, I'm not panicking, right? Because I guess all those other games I've panicked to a certain extent. And also, I put a lot of pressure on myself, right? Like, when you have a lot of people subscribe to you on YouTube that watch you every week, there's definitely a pressure there to not suck. You know, when they ask, like, oh, well, I watched Blood Angels Commander. Has he won any events? No, he hasn't won any. So why do you watch him, right? You know, like, there's a pressure there. It's hard to explain, but it's there. So now maybe that's, you know, so today was the first time I felt like, I possibly actually just thought, like, I'm probably going to lose again here. So why get upset about it? It's probably just going to be another loss. I'll go 4-1 again. You know, you know, like, I almost feel like you could. But then I was thinking to myself, my Blood Angels list that I've built is really strong, it's really fun, I know exactly how to play it. I've won a lot of games with it, right? Like, do you miss long-range shooting damage that can deal with tanks like Lancers or Vindicator tanks when you play with a few balls? Sorry, dude, I don't play with balls. I play with Destructors, a real man's Predator. And they actually do have long-range shooting, and I used it all this weekend. And when I break the games down, like turn 1 against the Orcs, I killed his 16 wound, toughness 12 battle wagon. I basically positioned both my Predators and my Ballista Dreadnought and killed it 40 inches away. So my list 100% has long-range firepower. In fact, I have, if I rolled maximum, not that I ever did, if I rolled maximum damage at long range, I got 2 las cannons that could both do 7. I got 2 crack missiles that could both do 6. So I could do 14 plus 12 would be 28. Then each Predator could do 4 times 3, so that'd be another 12. Plus the 2 las cannons for another 14, so that'd be 26. And then 100 kilo missile for 6. So 34. So it'd be 34 times 2, which is 68. Plus, what did I say, like 28 for the Ballista Dreadnought? So I actually have the potential of doing something like 90 damage at 48 inches. Not that I ever did anywhere near 90. I did, I think the best I did was that I killed the Battle Wagon, which is 16 wounds in turn 1. And when I killed the Battle Wagon in turn 1 at 48 inches away, 16 wounds, toughness 12, I need to go pee at the end of turn 1. So I went to pee in turn 1. I remember in the urinal, like, doing a pee, going like, yes, fucking killed that battle wagon in turn 1. That's big, because that means his unit of Mega Knobs is basically trapped in his deployment zone. Now he's going to walk for fucking 2 turns to get those Mega Knobs across the battlefield. And it turned out that I ended up going aggressive against those Mega Knobs to keep them in his deployment zone even longer with the company heroes. But, yeah, like, my list, I like having some long-range firepower. I've always run Blood Angels with some long-range firepower. That's why when people say, oh, you've got tanks in your list, are you even Blood Angels? I hate that. I absolutely hate that. That's kind of where my list even came from, right? Where it was like, I'm not going to run all Blood Angels melee. I like a balanced list. When I started playing Blood Angels, they were balanced. I've run it before. I went to a tournament in 9th edition where I ran whatever it was, like 3 units of Death Company, 3 units of Sangre Guard. In fact, I actually played Garen at the final of that tournament at the top table, and I actually lost him. So I've run the super meta 3 units of Sangre Guard, 3 units of Death Company, 3 units of Assault Intercessors. I ran it against Garen in the top table. I lost a tournament against him. I think it was about 2 years ago now. I think it was at the time when you used to get Armor of Contempt all the time in 9th edition. Like, it wasn't a strat, it was just Blood Angels just have Armor of Contempt, or Space Marines just for Armor of Contempt all the time, whatever season that was. I've run that. So I'm more, do you know what? I'm more happy to win this event where I'm not running that super meta stuff. I'm running my own stuff. I'm more happy about that. Exo says 4-1 is still an above an average result. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I know I get that, dude, but there was definitely like a part of, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to try and win a GT again. Like, it's so hard to win a GT, right? Like, game 1 and 2 are fine, but then game 3, 4, and 5, like, they're so friggin' hard. Every game was so hard.
I have awoken.
I mean, I'm sure I'll try again in a while, but I think the next couple of events I'm going to try and have fun, because I won best sportsmanship at an event like last year. I think I lost my first game. It was against Necrons. I think that guy maybe ended up going on to like top 2 or top 3 or something. And Necrons were super strong at the time. Remember, Necrons were scoring 100 points every game. So I lost my first game, and then I played 4 more games. I actually won best sportsmanship at that event, and I had so much fun at that event. And I'm not saying I didn't have fun winning this weekend, but like, when you get to those games, 4-0, 5-0, every game is so stressful. And it's not, you could, like, my opponents were stand-up guys. Like I said, there was no problem with any of the games. Every game was right above board. Every game was played at the highest level. But you got to be, it takes so much out of you. It's so hard. We watch you because you're a good and insightful person, but now you're a winner of a GT. Thanks. So, I appreciate that. You have to fully defend your title next year. God, I'll have to start working on finding a list right now. It took me so long to find that list, dude. It took me like, because somebody said that to the event. They were like, your list isn't like the other Blood Angels lists that we've played against. And I was like, yeah, I had to lose like 20 games to find, I think it was Marius maybe. I said to him, I had to lose 20 games to find this list, right? Like, you gotta lose games to make your list better. Disgustingly resilient podcast. Good evening. Do you know what? I almost played Colin. He lost game 4 by 1 point. And he would have beaten Cam. Yes. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Campbell. Colin lost game 4 by 1 point. Disgustingly resilient. So if he'd got 1 more point, then I would have played him in the final, which would have been so funny actually, because it was the Plastic Crackheads and Blood Angels commander organizing the tournament. It would have been really funny if it had been the 2 of us in the final. Hello, Zach. How are you? But yeah, it's probably been a goal of mine for like, probably since I went to my first GT like 5 years ago now, since I came back to the hobby, to win one of these events. And I think of all the lists I've brought at GTs. I think this might be the most Blood Angels list that I've ever made that I've run myself. Because Predator Destructors are so iconic for Blood Angels. And my Predator Destructor, a few people asked about it, my Predator Destructor is from 1996, and it still has the cardboard banner on the top of it. Someone said there's a lot of dust on that Predator Destructor. I was like, that Predator Destructor is probably older than you are, because it's like 28 years old. Intimate feelings after winning an event. Tired. Yeah. Campbell's going to come up for the next one. That would be sweet, dude. I'd love to see more people from the channel. I'm trying to think if we actually probably had room for a few more tables. So we could maybe try and increase it from 32 next year. There's probably room for Probably room for maybe 30, maybe 40. It would have been hilarious if Colin had made it the final. I didn't really want to play Colin in the final though, because I feel like Colin's very good at changing his list, and his list actually, I only found out afterwards, his list had 15 Death Shroud Terminators in it. And what's funny is I actually put the Predator Destructors in my list to counter his Death Shroud, because I really like the 3 damage from the Predator Destructors and the AP2 into the Death Shroud. So I actually need to thank Colin for winning this event, because I probably wouldn't have put the Destructors in my list if he didn't keep friggin' killing me with those Death Shroud Terminators. The Death Shroud Terminators are horrific into Blood Angels though, because if I'm remembering correctly, they get 76 Flamers, and they're AP1, and they're twin-linked, and your toughness is low because of Contagion, so they just wreck you. Zach says, just found your stuff recently. Got Blood Angels Army myself, but they're all models from when my parents played and I was a kid. Yeah, mine started with when they were all models. Good night, Dr. Kalushka. We'll see you. I'm not going to be here too much longer. Maybe I'll stay 10 more minutes till 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. Watch telly for a half an hour and go to bed. And then tomorrow night, I'll start thinking about how I'm going to break down. Oh, are they anti-infantry? I don't think the Death Shroud are anti-infantry 2-up, Phil. I think he has probably a bunch of Plague Marines that have anti-infantry 2-up. I could be wrong. Oh, me. 4 games. 5 games in 2 days is tiring for me. So many people have said congratulations already, it's ridiculous. I must have had 100 messages of congratulations now, thank you. People always say the nicest shit as well. Well done, John. We will look forward to your wisdom in future videos. Yes, tune in here and subscribe for wisdom. That's what I provide. I mean, I just lose a lot and then try to learn from my losses, I guess. Hey, if you're not learning from your losses, what are you doing? Tom says, before you go, you inspire me to play Blood Angels better. Huge congratulations on the win. See, people are so nice, man. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. It's funny that, because people always say that people on the internet are horrible. Well, in this community, people are just nice. I love it. When are the shirts coming in? I did order a new Blood Angel. This is a super old shirt. I just put it on today because I thought, why not? I thought it'd be cool to wear the old shirt. So I've ordered the new shirt. James, thanks so much. It's nice to hear from you. Yeah, we should do that, James. We should have a chat sometime. That'd be nice. It's been too long, my friend. Yeah, I actually ordered the new Blood Angels Commander t-shirt because I showed you guys the art that Brett made a few weeks ago now. So I ordered the new t-shirt a few days ago now. I don't remember what day it was. Oh, here it is, Thursday. Let me show you. So there's the new t-shirt with the Mephiston graphic that I got commissioned on it, right? So I ordered that on Thursday apparently. Its estimated arrival is next week. So basically I've ordered one to make sure the quality is good, because I don't know anything about t-shirt printing. So this is a t-shirt printing that YouTube suggested to me, or YouTube integrate into the channel because apparently once you get 15,000 subscribers, you can integrate that. So I've integrated it. I've ordered one to test it. So I guess my plan is to get the one, see if it's good, probably maybe wash it one time, make sure it doesn't shrink or something like that. And if it's good, then I'll make a video about it, and then I'll open up the store, right? Like, the Blood Angels Commander store is ready to be opened. Like, I think it's already technically open, just no one knows what the link is. So I think I could share the link now. I just want to make sure that I'm not selling shit, basically, before I sell shit. Or I'm not selling bad products before I open the store. There's too many shits in that sentence. See what I'm saying? So that you guys will be able to get that cool Mephiston, or you can get the normal Blood Angels Commander logo. There's going to be the choice. You can be able to choose. So you can have the new Mephiston logo that I got. There's no branding on Mephiston. It's just a cool artwork of Mephiston. Have we done fingerless gloves? I'm afraid not, Highland Phoenix. I'm afraid not. Oh. So yeah, tomorrow night I'm going to come back. I'm going to start thinking about what video I can make. In terms of how I can break down this GT win. What do you guys want to see the most of? You want to see like each of the games, or you want to see the list breakdown, or how to play the list? What's going to be the most like? Or do you want me to just make some videos? Because do that too, right? I mean, I'm going to make videos on it anyway, right? The list breakdown first. Okay. You can certainly do that. That would probably make it easy. That's probably an easy place to start, and then obviously okay. Milk the win with all the videos. Well, I've got the stream video. I've got photos that I took. As I say, I know I took a lot of photos of the first games. I probably didn't take as... I was going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I took 6 photos of the art game. So that's probably the game I took the least photos of. Oh, do you know what? I didn't take that many photos of the Knights game. I only took 3 of the Knights game. But regardless, there's definitely some learnings to be had around those. Go through the list what you hope would work, and then the future videos of how you actually plan things out. Yeah. Get the trophy down and show it off for the stream. Everybody saw it. But I'll put it on my head one more time to make you happy. There. Okay? This is going to be the end of the stream. I'll be back with videos about my first ever GT. There's dust on this trophy. How can it be dusty when it's brand new? Probably because it's laser cut apparently. Yeah. So it's laser cut with like an LED. It's pretty cool though. I think it looks best in red. What do you guys think? It's too much damage, Colin, is now a phrase we say whenever we are frustrated during a game. Okay. Red is good, isn't it? Ugh. Do you know what? There's a 3rd place RTT trophy over here that was also laser cut. Do you know what? That's funny, actually. That is the trophy that I got for when Garen beat me at the top table. So it was 2022. It was 2 years ago I last played Garen for first place. So he beat me at the RTT. I take him at the GT. Yes. What's funny though is I bet you if I beat him at the RTT, he probably beats me at the GT, and I care more about winning a GT, honestly. So, cool. I'll see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in this weekend. If there's questions, you know, you can reach me out in the comments. And yeah, you guys are super nice. What a great community. Thank you so much. Obviously, I know that this last week I've been ill as well. I was ill for like 7 or 8 days. So there wasn't a stream the last 2 Wednesdays. I'm sorry about that. I had really bad flu. So thank God that's gone. I'll probably see you Wednesday night for more just a chill. I'm probably not going to play a game this Wednesday. So just, we'll do some painting. We'll chill. We'll chat. Probably get back to live battles next week. Phil is heading to bed because he's got his 7 a.m. flight. Phil, I hope it goes all well. Thank you so much for coming all the way from America for our GT. You are a superstar. Enjoy drink your whiskey when you get on your 12-hour flight. That will help you sleep. Promise. I'll see you guys sometime this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for supporting me over fucking 4 years of GT failures. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.